Okay, let's do a standing mindful movement practice using beanbags. So initially, what's it like to have the beanbag in your hand? Be noticing the feel of the beanbag, the colour, texture, feeling as you move it from hand to hand, and how your body feels as you move that beanbag. Feelings in your muscles, different position, seeing what it's like to bring your attention in to the whole physical experience of holding this beanbag. And you might find having a beanbag quite evocative of memories when you've held a beanbag in the past or played with them, could trigger other mental reactions. Whatever mental reactions are going on, just acknowledge them, but see what it's like to let them be alongside for the time of this practice, and then bring your attention back once more to what you're physically sensing, what you can see, hear, feel in your hands, notice in your body as you move with the beanbag. We can have a beginning practice of just seeing what it's like to pass the beanbag from hand to hand. You might be doing that lower down, higher up. Really being careful as you do this and notice any restrictions you're becoming aware of for you in any movements. Noticing if there's any pain or discomfort, and staying well away from such experiences. With mindful movement, less is more. We're aiming to be attentive to our physical experience and how our attention comes back to that experience. We're not aiming to stretch, push ourselves, train our muscles. You can do that in a different context. Maybe seeing what it's like to shift into dropping from hand to hand. And even at some point, maybe deliberately dropping. And notice what it's like to pick that up from the floor. Any movements that you might make that may be difficult, really explore slowly how it is to gently make those movements. And if that is going to be impossible for you to pick up, then back off from that. And you can ask whoever's teaching you to help. But if that is okay to drop, then notice what it's like to drop with a hand, picking that up, dropping again. Any reactions in your mind to dropping? Liking, disliking, not that bothered, curiosity, frustration. How is it to notice these reactions, allow them to be present, but bring our attention once more back to what we're physically sensing? So we can continue with dropping from hand to hand. Even maybe playing around with having your eyes closed at periods. What's that like to let go and catch? And if you do drop, then notice what it's like to have an accidental drop in comparison to a deliberate drop. Any reactions in your mind, any ways that you speak to yourself inwardly, what goes on. And again, acknowledging, letting all that just be there in the background, coming back to what we're sensing. Or dropping maybe, and then maybe going back to passing. And then as we pass from hand to hand, maybe see what it's like just to bring the arms more around the sides. This could be done low down, a little higher up, and noticing if there's any restriction on that movement. And if there is, just staying with passing at the front. If it feels comfortable to meet your hand on the other side, doing that slowly to begin with, passing at the back, passing at the front, so we can move into circling. Maybe starting off with circling really slowly, almost kind of slow motion circling. Perhaps going one way, the other way, and then again being really careful to notice what it's like If we speed that up, going back to just passing, if it doesn't feel right. Noticing anything that grabs the attention while you're doing this. Coming back to the physical sensations associated with moving, we can start to speed up. If we're doing that circling, and speed up if we're doing passing. Speed up one way, speed up another way. Notice if there's a kind of baseline movement, either circling or passing. It just feels, yeah, just right now that's the speed that just feels good for me. One way or the other way. Or it could be passing at the front. It's just, yeah, that's right now what feels a nice rhythm for me to be doing that. Some people be faster, some slower. We can use this baseline rhythm between each of the different practices, alternating just as you wish. And then we can move into a different way of doing it. Passing, this time doing a really slow pass. Seems like to lift one leg. You could be bending a little if that's helpful, to pass under one leg and then under another. Again, backing off if at all uncomfortable, difficult, just doing passing. And depending on your balance, and making sure maybe if you're not so sure about your balance, having a wall nearby or a chair back to hang on to, you could do slightly more active leg movements, lifting one leg off the floor. And again, finding your rhythm of doing this. It could be really slowly. You've been really interested what it's like, each fine detail movement. We can tune into doing this slowly. We might like the feeling of doing it a bit more quickly, be curious about that. You could even be not liking it, but just noticing what it's like to be doing something you don't like so much. And then we can go back to circling or passing. We can also do spirals, so we can, again, be really careful with these new movements. Just see what it's like to bend down and pass around the body as we spiral down. Moving up. Noticing there's a bit of a kind of awkward transition, passing around the head, I find anyway, to then going down the body again. We can go the other way around. We can go back to passing, circling. We can also do vertical circles, so we can see what it's like to do a small pass from one hand further up the body to lower down the body, and then we could slowly increase the height of that, again really noticing what fits with our body right now. So we're passing high and low, feeling the different body movements associated with that, feeling the contact as we pass the beanbag from one hand to another. Then we can go back. Circling, passing, as you prefer. It's really good for dropping experiences. We can have a go at dropping behind the back. So passing from one hand to the other down the back. You can either let it kind of roll down your spine to catch, or have more kind of free dropping. And if you find you miss, then just notice what it's like to have that accidental drop. How's that different from deliberate dropping? Coming back to what you're physically sensing. And then maybe come back to circling or passing at the front, whatever suits you. Just really tuning into the feeling of the body standing, the movements of the body as you pass the beanbag. Feelings of sensation in the hand. And if your attention wanders off, how is it to bring the attention back once more to what you're physically sensing? And that's mindful movement, standing with the beanbag. Thank you very much.